Science, Grade 1. The Secret Life of Living and Non-Living Things. What is science? Living and non-living things. Characteristics of living things. Examples of non-living things. Living and non-living things in our environment. Wrap up and review. What is science? Science is a way of learning about the world around us. Scientists use observations, experiments, and careful thinking to understand how things work. In science, we ask questions and try to find answers. We learn by making mistakes and trying again. Science helps us understand the world and make new discoveries. Living and non-living things. Living things are organisms that have the ability to grow, reproduce, and respond to stimuli. They can be found in many different forms, such as plants, animals, and even humans. On the other hand, non-living things are objects or substances that do not have these characteristics. Examples of non-living things include rocks, water, and air. While they may seem similar to living things in some ways, they do not have the ability to grow, reproduce, or respond to stimuli like living things do. Characteristics of living things. Living things have several characteristics that make them different from non-living things. One of these characteristics is the ability to grow and develop. This means that living things can increase in size and complexity over time. For example, a seed can grow into a plant, and a baby animal can grow into an adult. Another characteristic of living things is the ability to reproduce. This means that they can create offspring that are similar to themselves. Plants can produce seeds or spores, while animals can give birth to babies or lay eggs. Reproduction helps ensure the survival of a species over time. Examples of non-living things. Non-living things are objects that do not have life. Some examples of non-living things include rocks, water, and air. These things are not alive because they do not grow, reproduce, or respond to stimuli like living things do. Rocks are made up of minerals and cannot move or change on their own. Water is a liquid that can take on different forms but cannot grow or reproduce. Air is a mixture of gases that we breathe in, but it cannot respond to stimuli or change on its own. Living and non-living things in our environment. Our environment is full of living and non-living things that interact with each other in different ways. For example, a tree provides oxygen for us to breathe, while we provide carbon dioxide for the tree to use. This is just one example of how living and non-living things work together in our environment. Another example is how water interacts with living and non-living things. Water is essential for all living things to survive, but it also erodes rocks and shapes the landscape over time. Students need to observe their environment and identify these interactions to gain a better understanding of the world around them. Wrap up and review. In this presentation, we learned about the concept of science and the difference between living and non-living things. We discussed the characteristics of living things, such as the ability to grow, reproduce, and respond to stimuli. We also explored examples of non-living things, such as rocks, water, and air, and explained why they are considered non-living. Now it's time to review what we've learned. Can anyone tell me what the characteristics of living things are? How do they differ from non-living things? Let's take a look around the classroom and see if we can identify any living or non-living things. Remember, living things need certain things to survive, like food, water, and air. Non-living things don't have these needs.